what is this hearing actually about? It's a campaign strategy. It's a misuse of official resources. I think it's obvious who the grand puppet master is here. He tweeted about it on his own social. And we see the long arm, but little hands, of Mr. Donald Trump, whose fingerprints are all over this hearing and this sham impeachment.
All right, welcome back to GMA3. That is a passionate New Mexico House Representative, Melanie Stansbury, on day one of the Biden impeachment inquiry.
And that inquiry happening just as the deadline to avoid a government shutdown is fast approaching. Congresswoman Stansbury is also on the House Oversight Committee. She joins us now from Washington. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Before we get to the impeachment inquiry, I want to ask you, the country in mourning with the passing of a political trailblazer, Senator Dianne Feinstein. How will you remember her?
You know, Senator Feinstein truly is an icon. She's a legend, a trailblazer. As one of only 25 women serving in the United States Senate, she paved the pathway for so many of us women who are now serving. I'm a former Senate staffer myself, and I had a front row seat to see her in action, her grit, her determination, and her leadership. She really led the way in making sure that people like myself and women all across the country could serve in political positions. So I'm really sad, actually. It's sad to see a legend pass.
Our thoughts are with you and all of your colleagues and her friends and family today. Let's talk about some of the stuff that's going on Capitol Hill right now. The impeachment inquiry, we showed that clip. Was there any evidence that was presented to support the impeachment of President Biden?
There was no evidence presented whatsoever. I think it was obvious for anyone who watched the 6 hours of the hearing yesterday that really it was a sham investigation. And we know that Donald Trump has called for it himself because, as the clip showed, he put it on his own social media. But what was particularly bizarre is that the star witness for the Republicans also said there was not enough evidence to move forward with an impeachment. I think it's also very obvious that Kevin McCarthy has called this forward, not even because he believes there's sufficient evidence, but because his right flank right now is trying to take him out. And so he agreed to refer it to a committee and have the sham hearing. And I think we thoroughly debunked once again, after massive amounts of investigation, that there just really is not any case there.
The shutdown, the looming government shutdown, major disagreements about spending. There's infighting among Republicans. So where do things stand as they are right now? Do you think there's any chance they'll come to an agreement?
I don't think there is. And, you know, I think it's important for the American public to understand that the infighting is what's driving this shutdown. Right now, the Republican conference is fighting with itself. It was reported yesterday there were shouting matches happening in their own caucus. We see it on the floor, in the elevators, throughout the Capitol. They're fighting over their leadership. They're fighting over budget levels. They're trying to renege on an agreement that they made with the president and with Democrats to keep our economy from sinking. And now here we are on the eve of shutdown. And what we're being told this morning is they're going to call up a vote for a CR that not even Republicans will vote to pass. So they don't have a plan. They don't have leadership. It's an unmitigated disaster for the country and, frankly, for our democracy.
Historically, your state is highly affected by these types of shutdowns. What should Americans know about who will be impacted by the shutdown?
Yeah, you know, in New Mexico, we have over 30,000 federal employees. We're one of the top states that's impacted by shutdowns. But I think the real story here is that for millions of Americans, it's really going to throw our economy, their paychecks, into uncertainty. So for those who are federal employees, they'll either be furloughed or they'll be asked to work without a paycheck. And I think what's particularly shocking is we're talking about hundreds of thousands of active duty military who will be asked to put on their uniforms and come to work without pay. In the United States of America, how shocking is that? Over an infight within the GOP. I mean, it's really, I don't think we've ever seen anything quite like this.
We'll all be watching it play out. New Mexico, Congresswoman Stansbury, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.